Side Pope for a couple of weeks, and he's been talking all of the talk. Now we got to see if he can walk the walk, and Jonny Lyons is here for it. Referee Red Shoes getting some order, and now he finally calls for the bell. Izaiah Zane, Jonny Lyons, these two are very familiar with one another. They've had some battles in the past. And now everything has come full circle. Collar and elbow tie up between Jonny and Izaiah. Go behind by Izaiah into the headlock. And look at the smartness of Jonny Lyons saying, look, I know Izaiah. One would think that he tried to take advantage here, but oh no, Jonny roll through, a roll out, a cartwheel of his own, and into the wrist lock followed by the headlock takeover. Great technical wrestling that Slam Professional Wrestling provides on a weekly basis. I don't know why the referee isn't in position here because Izaiah Zane's shoulders did appear to be down for more than 3 seconds, by the way. The first side of it does Izaiah Zane. Shoot off, huge tackle to Jonny Lyons. Izaiah Zane off the ropes now, drop down by Jonny, leapfrog by Jonny, and a roll through by Izaiah Zane. My God, the action is fast. The pace is quickened. A duck under by Jonny, followed by back elbow. What a maneuver. Izaiah Zane may have the size advantage. He may even have the strength advantage in this matchup, but I think that speed advantage will always go to one, Jonny Lyons. Well-traveled, been around the world. Last time I was with one Jonny Lyons was over in the Bahamas, where he made a name for himself there, and now we see a top wrist lock. And yet again, look at the little back leg sweep there. Always using every facet of his facility, his own facility, if you will, his body, to make sure that his opponent is always on his level, and that level is ground level. Izaiah Zane backs him to the corner. Oh, a double palm thrust to the midsection, followed by a chop. My goodness. I don't think that hurt one, Jonny. It just fired Jonny Lyons up, and you can see the effects because Izaiah Zane is reeling in pain. I don't know if I'll be putting both of my hands over the rope, but nonetheless, Izaiah Zane did. Running knee to the gut, butterfly suplex over, and out to the floor goes Izaiah Zane. You know, some people just like pain. I'm sure the next time Izaiah Zane joins Pope in the booth, he won't take too kind to what Pope said. Izaiah Zane now looking for a little retribution. Duck goes Jonny Lyons. Hand goes into the ring post. And guys, let me tell you, Pope's been doing this for 20 years. It don't feel good when your hand meets steel. Back into the ring we go. Jonny Lyons, well, we thought we were back into the ring, but Izaiah Zane showing his craftiness. Rolls back out to buy himself some more time. Didn't take too much time, though, but just enough time to poke Jonny in the eye, create that opportunity. Drop toe hold off to the rope goes Izaiah Zane. A huge running knee, my goodness. This may be it. Oh, no, it's not. The patented jumping elbow is it. And just a 1 count, surprisingly. Now, if I was Izaiah Zane in that moment, I would have went for the pin immediately. If I got a kick out, then I would have followed it up with my patented elbow drop. But we see the mistake that was caused there. But there's a huge stinger splash, a Pope-like leg sweep, and then a hesitation drop kick into Jonny Lyons in the corner. This has to be it. And just a 2 count, says referee Red Shoes. And don't ask me why his name is Red Shoes. The proof is in the pudding. Or on the mat, take your pick. Now Izaiah Zane applying pressure. Staying on top of Jonny Lyons. Not trying to give him any room to recuperate. Making his breathing a little harder. trying to give him a little rope burn to his forehand, shoot off into the corner. Up and over by Jonny, though. And a huge body slam followed. I think this is the opening. Jonny's calling for the elbow. To the middle rope he goes. And Izaiah Zane moves. He moves. Crashing and burning goes Jonny Lyons. This may be all Izaiah Zane needs. Shoot off to the rope. And that huge drop kick. He caught him. He caught him with the drop kick. Followed by a kick to the back. That may not have been needed. But let's see. And just a 2 count. Izaiah Zane wasted just a couple of seconds there to follow it up with an insult shot to the back of Jonny Lyons. One would have to imagine if he just went in for the cover after that surprise drop kick to the chin of Jonny Lyons, this match would be over. Lucha style arm drag by Izaiah, trying to stay on top here. Little desperation, and there it is. There's that flying shoulder block. One would think that we'd see the other 4 moves of doom, but no, we got a Jericho pose. We got a Jericho pose. Into the rear chair lock. I don't know. You know, sometimes I think about Izaiah Zane for all of his craftiness, all of his technical prowess, for all of the good wrestling that he does, his cocky attitude, his need to always outdo himself and to do one maneuver to top the other. Sometimes that costs him, and we're seeing it right here. Punch and a block and another block, followed by some stiff forearms to the neck, shoot off by Jonny Lyons, and there's a double forearm, followed by another double forearm by Jonny Lyons. He's catching his second win, and look at that. Went for a little Samoan drop type maneuver. Didn't get all of it, but he got enough because Izaiah Zane is down. And now Jonny Lyons rallying the crowd, getting them behind him, getting that second win, going for a butterfly suplex. Izaiah Zane not out of it yet. He reverses into a headlock, shoot off to the rope, shoulder tackle, immediately hit the rope. Drop down by Izaiah, and there's an up and over. But wait, what is this? Into a pin. Izaiah Zane didn't get it. Another. Jonny didn't get it. And there's a sunset flip by Izaiah. 1, 2, didn't get it. Into a float over. Another. My God, the action's so quick. If this was Alejandro, he'd be in respiratory arrest. But nonetheless, a duck under by Jonny Lyons. And we got a double clothesline. A double clothesline. Both men are down. Both men are down. The action has quickened. The pace has picked up. The hits have gotten harder. And the situation has become tense because both men are trying with all that they have to pick up the victory, to become the first ever Slam Sports and Entertainment Digital Media Champion. For the crowd rallying Jonny. And there you go, a shot by Izaiah Zane. And he's cocking his back for another. And he gets another. And there's a chop, followed by another chop. And there's a European uppercut by Jonny Lyons onto the rope. There's a forearm and another forearm. Shoot off, a float under. Izaiah Zane with a kick to the gut. He goes for that running knee again. And there's a backslide. It's over. And there's just a 2 count. Onto the shoulders, looking for another Samoan drop, but no. Izaiah Zane, he counters, and he catches him with that knee. This has to be it. And there's a slice of bread for your mama, and it might be some left over for your brother, but no. Izaiah Zane, he floats to the outside. He's looking to put some pizzazz on it. He's looking for that gracious maneuver. He goes for it. Float by Jonny Lyons, and into the fireman's carry. And there it is. This may be it. It may be over. He picks Izaiah Zane back up. He wants to make sure. And there it is. The DDT. The DDT. And there's the 3 count. It's over. It is over. And the streamers begin to fly. as we have now, finally, after weeks of build-up, we have crowned our first ever slammed digital media champion, and his name is Jonny Lyons. Jonny Lyons, raise your hands, take a bow. You, my friend, have done something incredible. There will be many to come after. There will be multiple shapes and forms of talent that will enter that ring and hold that championship someday. But today, you are the very first, and there will never, ever be another. Jonny Lyons has been crowned your first ever slammed digital media champion. And Izaiah Zane right there sulking in the corner. Maybe he's looking back through his head, thinking about the moments that he didn't capitalize on when he could have. A little bit too much showboating, a little bit too much mouth. In the end, it didn't help him win. There was only one. That man is Jonny Lyons. Hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. Witnessing history. I am the Pope Elijah Burke. Until next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the Slam Digital Media World Heavyweight Champion, Jonny Lyons. How does it feel?
Digital Media World Heavyweight Champion. I like the sound of that. I like this gimmick we got going on here. You see, it means the world to me. This championship means the world to me, especially being able to go out there and defeat a competitor like Izaiah Zane. Like, I've known Izaiah since he started wrestling. I'll admit it. He's grown leaps and bounds. Izaiah, I applaud you. Good job, kid. But compared to me, you're still that immature kid that I knew way back when, 2 years ago when you first started training. But this, it means the world. And to be able to defend it everywhere I go, now that's golden.